Lennon was married happily, McCartney was going steady, and George Harrison was about to marry. Everything in the Beatle garden was rosy. But that was a long time ago.
If you want to explore some philosophical questions about reality, look no further than myths and folklore about the Beatles. Fans like to speculate, who are John, Paul, George, and Ringo, not as abstract ideas, but as people?
Drugs, divorce, and a slipping image.
And if you were really yourself, you wouldn't be any of who we are now.
Act naturally, then.
They will never be. And I heard the news.
Who are any of us? What is music? Peter Jackson's docuseries Get Back takes footage shot in 1969 and restores it into a colorful, joyful, mundane, loony, playful, long version of who the Beatles are. It culminates in the last Beatles concert.
To watch like a bootleg of Let It Be, it is both somber and literally dark.
TJ Shanoff is co-host of the Untitled Beatles podcast, and he says this is way different than the original documentary released in 1970.
Because it was made in the middle of the breakup, there is literal recency bias from the 70s showing the band dissolving without the joy.
Tony Mendoza, another co-host of the Untitled Beatles podcast.
50 years later, you can look back at all that stuff and reassess. What did they leave out? Oh, all that fun they were having.
Two of us wearing raincoats, standing solo in the sun, the moon.
And it's like, not even a slice of life, because you get a lot more than a slice at a time.
Hannah Kim teaches philosophy at Macalester College. She says the vibrant colors make the Beatles feel up close.
They're wearing neon green and bright orange and deep purple and pink and red and their fur jackets. It was just fun to see that.
The film plays around with time.
I think I'll be leaving the band now.
When?
Now.
The second installment begins with this line that says the future of not only the project, but the group itself is now in doubt.
And then number two.
Who's now? Like now in 1969, there now? Because we're not talking about our now.
But it's going to be such an incredible sort of comical thing, like in 50 years' time, you know. They broke up because Yoko sat on an amp.
In this version, Yoko Ono is no longer cast as the destroyer of worlds. Instead, she hangs around quietly. Mostly.
I know it sounds like Benny Goodman, but don't worry, it's the big sound of 1969.
While we're watching these 8 hours of film footage, the Beatles, the four of them, are seldom in a room by themselves.
Polly Tesler leads a master's degree program at the University of Liverpool titled The Beatles' Music Industry and Heritage.
They are constantly surrounded by people coming and going and, you know, somebody bringing in tea or the post or people dropping in randomly. It's a wonder they get anything done.
And within the mundane, everyday activities, there's the music.
What also really struck me as well is how quickly they, even when they're just fooling around, they just, you know, go back and forth into any sort of song and riff, stuff they used to play in Hamburg in the early days. And you can see they have a great affection for it.
As Tesler notes, Ringo is there dutifully with his drums, ready to get on with it. John has many moods. George comes and goes, there but not there. Very talented, but very sullen.
I don't care if you don't want it. I don't care. It's going to be musical.
It all reaches a peak with the rooftop performance.
Paul McCartney's looking over his shoulder and delighted by the fact they're getting shut down by the cops.
You've been out too long, Loretta. You've been playing on the roofs again. And that's no good. Because you know your mommy doesn't like that. Or she gets angry. She's going to have you arrested. Get back.
It's a little more performative than we might expect, but just to see it unfold the way it did, especially in the cold and the misery of it all, that it is sort of that just last shining moment in their career before it all starts to fall apart.
Get back.
For Philosophy Talk, I'm Holly J. McTeague.
Thanks, Mo.
I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the group and ourselves, and I hope we pass the audition.